Bhushan, welcome to ASG IAS, Editorial of Times of India. Today I am going to tell you the Editorial of Times of India. I used to read many newspapers. Whatsoever the best newspaper and best editorial, today I got the best editorial, 30th August 2019. Science for the Disaster Management, NDMA is reaching out of scientific community and working towards a futuristic agenda. This article was written by P.K. Misra. In an increasingly interconnected world, disaster and emergency risk are becoming more complex and interactable. Therefore, it is vitally important that we optimize the application of the scientific and technological capabilities and to understand, reduce, manage and disaster emergency risk. It is indeed commendable that National Disaster Management Authority is reaching out of the scientific community and working towards a futuristic agenda for disaster risk management in the country. Over the last 20 years, science and technology has brought a deeper understanding of how disaster risks are created and how they can be managed. This is evident in the huge improvement we have made in forecasting extreme climate and weather events. Our improved understanding of earthquakes and landslides, as well as our ability to model risk with robust information of hazard patterns, exposure data, people, capital assets and economic activity, and much greater understanding of the fragility and vulnerability of the people, of asset and system. It is now possible not only for forecast disaster event but also anticipate their impacts with the high level of the confidence even before the setting foot on the disaster site. This promising development notwithstanding at the systematic level, there are two principal challenges worth highlighting. First, the time lag between the availability, scientific and technological capability and its on-the-ground application. For example, mobile community has been around for more than a decade, yet few post-disaster damage assessment to make full use of the technology to come up with a quick and rigorous and geo-referenced assessment. Similarly, we are about development of the products and the technologies emanating from the defense establishment that may be useful in disaster response, but their uptake by the practitioner remains uneven. The second challenge is one of the scientific development side. How do we ensure that research is focused on the developing methodologies and tools that respond to the real world challenges and facilitate the shift from the disaster management to disaster risk management? At the same time, how do we ensure that we do not distract innovations and leave enough room out of the box exploration of understanding different phenomena? In India, we have pursued the applications of the science and technology for disaster management with a sense of purpose and urgency. Our national system since has been continually evolved over the years of the meet of the needs of the disaster risk management professionals. For example, some years ago, we brought together a number of scientific disciplines under the umbrella of the Ministry of Earth Science. Similarly, we have systematically pursued the applications of the space-based technology for disaster management. We now have to look at the next generation of our scientific efforts to address disaster risk management challenges. The next generation of scientific efforts need to be guided by the following three principles. Number one, a sharper definition of disaster risk management problems to galvanize scientific effort that lead to progress. The practice of disaster risk management has matured a country, and now it should be possible to articulate specific requirements from the scientific community too. While promoting the application of the scientific disaster risk management at the local level, we should search for the scalable, affordable and sustainable solution in most parts of the country and indeed the world. Disaster risk is building up at the alarming rate. Our ambition must match the scale of the problem. And third, multidisciplinary approach. The notion of multidisciplinary approach to disaster risk management is not new. However, it is confined to the working discipline that we study different hazards. For example, this may include seismologists interacting with the landslide experts, flood experts and meteorologists. We need to enlarge the scope of multidisciplinary work. We need to study the interactions between the hazards and current and future exposed population, property and economic activity, vulnerability. This will require multidisciplinary effort that will push us beyond our comfort zones. Nevertheless, we need to guard ourselves against certain pitfalls. Why? While other last few years there is a lot of enthusiasm for applications of the big data, machine learning and artificial intelligence for disaster risk management, we must recognize that these technologies are not substitute for the deeper understanding of social and economic process that make our society vulnerable. So thank you for Times of India editorial.